So far, 8 people have died at the Travis Scott Astroworld concert.
And many more are still in the hospital. These people died particularly horrific deaths, likely from crushing injuries and suffocation.
It's happened at other concerts, and from dozens of videos on the internet, it looks like it happened here too. The big news of today is that a civil suit has been filed against Travis Scott and several of the event organizers.
And by the time you watch this video, I bet there'll be even more suits filed. The first thing to note is that it's much easier to win a civil case than it is to put someone in jail for a criminal conviction.
The burden of proof is much lower in a civil case. These civil suits are basically going to allege negligence that resulted in wrongful death or serious injury.
Specifically, they're going to allege that concert planners were negligent in facilitating concert safety.
And they're also going to allege that Travis Scott himself was negligent.
In both instances, the evidence looks pretty damn good for the plaintiffs.
There are tons of videos showing concert goers knocking down fences and barging into the concert.
And videos of the security being totally overwhelmed and unable to help. And there's also tons of evidence to support Scott's negligence.
Lawyers for the plaintiff are going to point to the fact that he was previously arrested for inciting riots at his concert.
He's compared his concerts to wrestling matches. He's previously encouraged people to jump off a balcony at one of his concerts, leaving one person paralyzed.
And he has a history of encouraging fans to bypass security and rush the stage.
The most damning evidence of all are tons of horrific videos, the ones we've all seen online, of Scott in close proximity to people in clear distress,
including unconscious bodies being tossed over stage barricades so that medics can get to them.
Some videos even show people trying to warn Scott on stage that something's wrong, but he decides to continue with the performance anyways.
Now, of course, his defense attorney is going to have a completely different opinion on this.
They'll argue that tons of musicians have mosh pits and aggressive behaviors at their concerts.
And they'll argue that he shouldn't have known that something was going on because medics are often present at concerts.
His lawyer's definitely going to argue that he didn't know the severity of the problem and that it wasn't his duty anyways to keep the concert goers safe.
And frankly, his attorneys are probably going to push all of the blame onto the organizers and away from Scott himself.
As these cases go forward, so much more evidence is going to come out. Tons of witnesses are going to be subpoenaed.
And it's going to be up to a jury to review all of that evidence.
And it's up to that jury to ultimately decide their fate.